All right, let's jump right into this explainer and trace the absolute roller coaster career of Nigerian football icon Victor Ikpeba. We're looking at a guy who racked up a massive 323 club appearances and 103 goals. We're going to break down exactly how a young talent from Benin City turned into a European powerhouse, and of course, we'll look at the extreme highs and the really tough lows that followed.
To really get a feel for his journey, we're doing a strict chronological review today. We'll start with his rise as a star in Belgium, move on to his era as the Prince of Monaco, look at his struggles across Europe, and finally, hear the final whistle.
His professional club career spans well over a decade and a half. It's a journey that takes him literally from a teenage discovery in 1989 to a seasoned globe-trotting veteran hanging up his boots in 2005. So let's flip back to that very first chapter.
Part 1. Rising star in Belgium during the RFC Liège years. We start in 1989. A young Ikpeba is playing at the FIFA U17 World Championship, and boom, he catches the eye of scouts from Belgian club RFC Liège. He gets discovered and heads to Belgium to kick off his pro career, making this huge leap alongside his teammate Sunday Olise.
17. That's the number of goals this 20-year-old phenom banged in during the 1992-1993 season for RFC Liège. I mean, this wasn't just a solid season. This was a total breakout. He was officially putting Europe's top-tier clubs on notice, proving he could seriously thrive far from home.
And he certainly didn't leave Belgium empty-handed. During his time at Liège, he lifted the Belgian Cup in the 89-90 season, and he bagged some major individual hardware too. He won the Ebony Shoe in 1993, which is a massive deal. It's awarded to the best African player in the Belgian league. With 27 goals and 79 appearances, it was obvious to everyone that he was just completely outgrowing Belgium. He needed a much bigger stage.
Which brings us to part 2, the Prince of Monaco, his golden era in France. That bigger stage arrived in 1993 when he was snapped up by AS Monaco. And what's really wild is he was initially brought in by the legendary manager Arsène Wenger. Despite a bit of a rocky start, this is the move that would entirely define his legacy.
Just look at his output during this era. It's off the charts. He found this incredible vein of form, especially after winning gold at the '96 Olympics. He smashed in 13 league goals to help Monaco clinch the Ligue 1 title in the 96-97 season, and even finished as the second top scorer in the UEFA Cup that same year. All of this unbelievable production culminated in him being crowned the undisputed African Footballer of the Year in 1997.
But his impact wasn't just domestic. He was a crucial part of Jean Tagana's ridiculously talented Monaco squad. They were making serious noise in Europe. I mean, they marched right into Old Trafford in 1998 and knocked Manchester United out of the Champions League on away goals. Ikpeba was literally competing and winning at the absolute pinnacle of club football.
Now, behind all the stats, there's this absolutely wild story from his golden era. While he was crushing it at Monaco, Ikpeba was actually super close to transferring to Italian side Regina, but the move got completely shut down by his wife. She loved the French Riviera lifestyle way too much to leave, so she literally locked him inside their house on the day he was supposed to sign the contract. It's a crazy, very human moment that completely altered the trajectory of his career.
Moving to part 3, struggles across Europe and the post-Monaco decline. In 1999, the narrative takes a really sharp turn. Ikpeba finally decides to leave the comfort of France, heading to Germany to link back up with Sunday Olise. But unfortunately, this is where things start to get really tough.
The expectations here were sky high. Borussia Dortmund dropped a massive £4.8 million for him in 1999. But the reality? Well, it was a totally different story. He only managed 2 goals in his first Bundesliga season, and by year 2, he was basically frozen out of the squad after a huge, very public falling out with coach Matthias Sommer. He finished with just 30 appearances and 3 goals total.
We really need to pause for a second here to acknowledge the profound personal tragedy going on behind the scenes. In May 2000, right in the middle of these professional struggles, Ikpe's wife, Atanuke, tragically lost her battle with breast cancer. She was only 26 years old. You simply can't separate the man from the player, and you can only imagine the unimaginable emotional toll that kind of loss took on him while he was already navigating a really difficult career shift.
Understandably desperate for a fresh start after such a dark period, he went out on loan. He actually rejected a move to Southampton to go play for Real Betis in Spain for the 2001-2002 season. But man, things just kept going downhill. The coach publicly criticized him for being overweight, and he was effectively benched for the entire season. We're talking a mere 3 appearances and 0 goals.
Which leads us into part 4, the final whistle. His globe-trotting finish and his ultimate legacy. We're entering the real twilight of his club career now, and it's defined by really short stints, contract disputes, and a constant search for minutes on the pitch.
It is a rapid-fire, honestly chaotic end to his playing days. He goes to Libya with Al Ittihad Tripoli, wins the league, but then straight up quits over financial disagreements. Then he's back in Belgium with Charleroi, reuniting with his old coach to successfully dodge relegation. Next, he tries to go back to Germany with SC Freiburg, but the whole transfer totally collapses at the 11th hour because it's revealed he lacked an EU passport. Just incredibly frustrating. Finally, he plays a super brief stint in Qatar with Al Sadd before officially calling it a career.
Before we wrap this explainer up, let's talk about what actually made Victor Ikpeba such a threat out there. Despite having a smaller frame, he was an absolute nightmare for defenders in the 90s. He was lightning fast, incredibly versatile, and just fiercely opportunistic. He could play as a pure striker, a second striker, or out wide on either wing. He had this uncanny knack for finding the back of the net from literally anywhere on the front line.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. When we step back and look at his entire chronological journey, balancing that really steep decline in Germany and Spain against that absolute prime, trophy-hoarding African Footballer of the Year peak at Monaco, does his golden era firmly cement his status as an undisputed African club football legend? I'll let you ponder that one. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer on Victor Ikpeba's incredible career. Catch you next time.